Hello, my name is Cheyenne and welcome back to another nail art tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create this obsidian crystal look from Princess Mononoke. Let's dive in. So first I'm putting down a base color. It is called Funny Tree from Penelope Luz. This is a color I got from Polish Pickup last year and it is so pretty. And yes, surprise, surprise, another blue shimmer. I just really love them. It has pretty good coverage on the first coat and not super patchy, but I still did 2 coats just to reach full opacity and really make the color vibrant. By the way, if you hear any weird background noise, it could potentially be my cat. She was on my lap for this video and she was purring and making a lot of sounds and I just couldn't kick her off my lap because she was just being so cute. The image that I pulled of the dagger, there is a highlight on one side of the blade and this color is acting as the highlight. I thought it was a pretty close dupe. I did put a top coat over this to just seal my manicure, went to sleep and went to Costco and just enjoyed wearing it as it was, and it was just such a magical color. On the opposite side of the blade there was a dark shadow and I thought Purple with Envy from Hollow Taco looked like a pretty close dupe. So I painted half of my nail in that color and I was pretty impressed with how straight my line was and how perfect down the middle it was. That said, you don't have to have a clean, crisp line. I just thought I would do this to try to practice freehanding, straight lines. You'll see why in the next step. I'm basically going to cover up that straight line with this blue. So this is a blue that I've had in my collection for a while. I've mentioned it in one of my videos recently that I did for my New Year's look. I'll put a link to that in the cards. So I'm going in with this mystery blue polish and creating some abstract angular shapes. And this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just kind of plopping some lines down to start. Your right angles or points don't have to be super crisp because you are going to probably cover them up later, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to just practice doing that. So that's kind of what I was doing here. After I had the skeleton of this jagged shape, I then tried to fill it in. Since this is an older polish, it didn't level out very well, but overall, I added some other elements to it, and I feel like you can't see any texture, so it's completely fine. Every once in a while, I'll do a nail art collab with other people who are interested in the hobby. I'll find a group on Instagram that is doing it, and in this case, I joined a Studio Ghibli themed nail art collab. At first, I wanted to do Howl's Moving Castle, a day scene, and a night scene, but after testing out the design, it just felt a little bit too impressionist to me, and I kind of wanted to do something that was a bit more my style. I was feeling a little bit dark and moody, so I was watching Princess Mononoke with my husband. He hadn't seen it before, and when I saw the dagger, I was very enamored by it. I had forgotten about this dagger, to be honest, and I was like, I have to find a way to create this design on my nails. So I found like a reference photo and got to work. So normally I don't use acrylic paint, but my black nail polish is running quite low and I was in a pinch, so I thought, why not? I'll try this again. I hadn't tried using acrylic paint in quite some time, so I figured I would test it out for you guys and tell you my thoughts. I know that a lot of people use acrylic paint because it makes their lives easier, because it is much easier to work with, but within less than a day, it was already chipping on the edges a little bit, and that is not something I normally experience with the nail polish that I use, so I guess while this will save you some time maybe or be easier to work with, you will probably lose some longevity in your manicure. Pick your poison, I guess. I'm creating these black lines across the design to emulate the rough edges of the obsidian. I didn't want these lines to be super perfect and matchy-matchy across the nail to help emulate that organic design of the dagger's rough points. I am making sure though to outline at least that blue shape completely that I have put in the center. You'll definitely be able to see those black lines better on the lighter blue side, so I'll just speed this part up a little bit more. Speaking of speed, overall I think this took me about 2 hours and 15 minutes across all of my fingers. which wasn't that bad, and like always, I did do a few nails at a time. While this does look very laborious, it actually wasn't as intense as some designs as I've done. I'm actually a little happy that I did choose to use acrylic polish for this because I feel like it would have added so much time to this design. For me, if my neck is hurting, then it's probably not the easiest design to do. And in this case, my neck wasn't hurting, so if you wanted to recreate this, I actually don't think it would be that hard. Although I know maybe this design isn't everyone's cup of tea, but it was my vibe, and I had a feeling that it would look really cool when you see all the nails together. I should mention, I really didn't like how the lines met the edge of my nail. I thought it didn't look really clean, so I did something that I feel like I've been doing a lot, and I just wrapped the edges with black, and you'll see that later. While adding these lines, I tried to keep some of the shapes to be more square, some to be more rectangle. I wanted it to be a little different across the nail with varying sizes. I think it would be really fun to try doing a similar design again during Halloween. I think it would be really pretty, but this look also kind of reminds me of stained glass, and I've been itching to do some stained glass nails, so that might come in the future. So while I thought this did look great, there is supposed to be a little bit of reflections on the top center point of the crystal, so I took Island Pea's spaced out topper. I got this one during Black Friday, and I'm so glad that I did. I think it is so pretty, and I'll definitely be applying it to a lot of looks. While I did apply this all over my nail, I did try to concentrate it in the center point to catch more light there. And guess what? We're still not done. I'm going to be going back in and adding some more black, like I mentioned, around the edges because I didn't really like how the lines met the edge of the nail. And creating an outline helped hide it. Lastly, to emulate the shape of the dagger, I'm going to be creating a triangle-like shape around the tip of my nail. I didn't want the blue flaky shimmer spaced out over the top of this because I kind of wanted this to be a void of darkness with no reflections in it. While I thought this was a creative solution to emulate the shape of the dagger, it would be cool to try this again with maybe filing my nails to a point, but I don't think my nails are long enough right now, so I wouldn't probably even attempt that. I have tried a more stiletto style nail before, but it does get pretty dangerous, and I tend to poke myself a lot on accident, but it's still fun to do around Halloween. To finish us off, I am going to be adding KB Shimmer's Quick Dry Top Coat. I feel like this top coat is just so glossy and perfect. When I try to do a reveal shot at the end, it is usually too slick and my camera just can't handle the shine. Anyways, let me know what you thought about this design. Did you like this? Do you love Princess Mononoke? Do you love Studio Ghibli? Since this was a collab with a few other nail artists, I also want to show their art as well. This collaboration was hosted by Paula Streeter and Numerous Bees Nails, which is a very fun username. But yeah, every once in a while I like to participate in collaborations with other artists where we get together and create nail art around a given theme. I normally find these folks through Instagram, but I'm sure you could also find folks who want to do stuff like this on Reddit as well. I highly recommend joining one at some point because I love the creative energy and how kind everyone is to one another. It reminds me of when I used to be a student taking, well, art classes. So I unfortunately didn't participate too much socially in this one because I've been really busy, but at least I could do this and put this little slide deck together with everyone's nail art. See y'all next time. Bye.